Hello, welcome to One Africa Mission with your brother Dobia Anzanse. Please, today we are going to the Sahel region. As you all know, the Sahel has become the pride of Africa. Today, every progressive African want to be a citizen of the Sahel. That is how beautiful unity is all about. Just imagine less than 4 years. Look at how beautiful the Sahel has becoming. Look at the kind of things that the Sahel is doing. Look at how proud they are making us as children of Africa. Imagine if just 3 states. Imagine if the 4 states can put aside iron aside our whatever differences and bring these 54 states together. Imagine how beautiful and powerful Africa would be. We look forward to the day that Africa will become that great continent or nation once again. Thank you very much for coming around. Before we go to the Sahel, on behalf of One Africa Mission, I would like to say thank you to Ronald Wilford. On behalf of One Africa Mission, we say thank you very much for the gift. We really appreciate your gift, Ronald Wilford. We say thank you very much for that gift. We will forever be grateful for that. Yeah, so after that, as I said, we are going to the Sahel. We're going back to see why the Vikings are running away from the Sahel. As me and you know, Denmark say they're going to close their embassies in the Sahel. What lessons can we learn as children of Africa from the closure of them, or the announcement by Denmark that they are going to close their embassies in the Sahel? The Danes, the Vikings, we all know who the Vikings are. So the Vikings closing their embassies in the Sahel shouldn't even bother us as citizens of the Sahel. But there is a lesson to learn from that. What lesson can we learn from that as children of Africa? I thank you very much for coming around. Please, if you haven't joined our mission, One Africa Mission, the number One Africa Mission, please don't hesitate to support the mission. We are on a mission, and our mission is all about the unity of the African continent and the dignity of our race. If we really want a better Africa for us and for the next generation, for the future Africans, then we must fight to unite the continent of Africa. That is why we are here, One Africa Mission. And our mission, as I said, is to go into evangelism, to preach the gospel of a united Africa to our citizens, to see the need or the power in unity. Just as the founding fathers of America saw the power in unity, they fought a civil war to bring 50 states together, and today America is the most powerful country in the world, whether you like it or not. We can also do it. We can become the most powerful country in the world if we unite the continent of Africa. Today, everybody, all African citizens, majority of African citizens,
we must unite now. We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united.
Are calling for the unity of Africa. What is stopping us from doing that? Let us get into evangelism. That's why we are here, One Africa Mission. So please, if you appreciate what we are doing, please don't hesitate to share our content, pass your comments. It's really helping us a lot. We appreciate those of you who are doing that. And for those of you who haven't get time to do that, we urge you to do that. Let us all bring our energies together to fight for a united, better Africa. Not just for us, but for the next generation of Africans. Thank you very much for coming around. So as I said, today we are going to the Sahel. The Vikings decided they're going to run away from the Sahel. You know, the Sahel region, or the Sahel country, it has now become a holy place. So dirty people cannot live there. Evil people cannot live in the Sahel. The Sahel has now become a holy state, a holy city, that if you are dirty, if your hands are full of blood, and we all know what the Vikings represent. So if your hands are full of blood, you have to run away from the Sahel. And that is the point that we are seeing, reason why the Danes, the Vikings, Denmark is deciding to close their embassies in the Sahel. That is why they are running away. You cannot, with your evil hands, with your dirty hands, continue to stay in a holy country. in a holy state, and the Sahel is a holy state. That is why Denmark is running away. But we as children of Africa, we can learn from that. As I said, why is Denmark deciding to run away? As me and you already know, recently, specifically the state of Mali, NATO, led by France, attacked our military. Unfortunately, Ukraine came out and claimed that they provided intelligence to the Tuareg separatist rebels to carry out this attack, which we know we are more intelligent than they think we are. We know that it got nothing to do with Ukraine, and it wasn't any Tuareg separatist group that did that. It was NATO led by France. The French, who doesn't want to see a stable Sahel, they carry out these attacks. But Ukraine came out and claimed that they provided intelligence for them to carry out this attack against our gallant military. We lost a lot. And then we cannot sit back. It is a new dawn for Africa. We are redefining the geopolitics of Africa. You cannot point your filthy fingers on our eyes and expect us to be mourning and crying. That is not the Africa again. We are not the Africa that is complaining. We take action and then we mean our words. So when Ukraine came out and did that, we cut diplomatic ties with Ukraine. We don't want to have anything to do with you. If you can murder our military, then we have nothing to do with you. And then when we did that, Sweden, for whatever reason, it got nothing to do with Sweden. But the Europeans will always stand for each other's. And that is what we must learn from that as African people. So when Ukraine did that and we cut diplomatic ties with them, Sweden came out and tried to belittle us, because this is us that, and because we decided to cut diplomatic ties with Ukraine, they're gonna stop giving us aid. What an insult! And then Sweden will aid stop the citizens, the youth of Africa from crossing the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea to perish there. Has your aid provided any dignity for the African citizens? So if you're gonna threatening us because of aid, and then you think that we're gonna be quiet, we're gonna be silent, then you too get your share, get out of our country. So we gave the Swedish ambassador 72 hours to pack her things out of our country. We don't want no disrespect from anybody. We will not take any disrespect from anybody. So after asking the Swedish ambassador to leave our country, because they were threatening us with aid. What is aid? What has aid done for the continent of Africa for the past 60 years that we have been taking aid? If you want to see the damage of aid, go and read the book by Dr. Dambisa Moyo, one of the best economists in world history. She is from Zambia. Dambisa Moyo, Dr. Dambisa Moyo, Dead Aid. You will understand what aid, the damage that aid is doing for the continent of Africa. So yes, they think we are stupid. So when the Swedish ambassador said that, we said, okay, if because of your aid, your so-called aid, which we don't even need, you're gonna be threatening us, then you to get out of our country. We mean business. So we sack her, and Denmark, in solidarity with European Union, Sweden, and Ukraine, also decided to close their embassies in the Sahel. What did the Denmark ambassador said? The annoying rubbish that he vomited. Let me read it for you. And then you will understand why we as Africans also should learn from the Europeans when it comes to standing for each other's. Let's go and read it from the Reuters newspaper. Denmark to close its embassies in Mali and Burkina Faso. Will close its embassies in Mali and Burkina Faso after a series of military coups over the past few years. The Danish Foreign Ministry said on Monday, as it formally launched a new strategy for its cooperation with the African continent. So Denmark, a country less than 6 million people, is also launching its new strategy cooperation for the continent of Africa. A country, the population of Lagos is 5 times bigger than Denmark, the whole Denmark. The population of Lagos is 3-5 times bigger than the population of Denmark. And yet, Denmark also have the gas to look into our face as melanated people, Africa, when it's enough is going to be enough for us. That Denmark also have the gas to look into our eyes and tell us that they also have a new strategy, cooperation for the continent of Africa. Let's continue to listen to the rubbish that he was vomiting. I'm not going to be able to go through all that, but I just want to make some points. As relationship between Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and the Western powers have deteriorated as the three turn to Russia for support. Frustrations over authorities' failure to restore security have contributed to coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, which the Danish Foreign Ministry said it has created very limited room for maneuver in the Sahel. So when the Danish Foreign Ministry said that because of the new leadership in the Sahel, it has created limited room for maneuver. What do they mean by that? It means they don't have the opportunity to explore our continent, to rob, to steal our resources for free. And that is why they are packing their bags. That is why I'm saying the Sahel region, the Sahel country is a holy place. So if you are there as a criminal, you will have no choice than to run away. And that is exactly what these Vikings are doing. There is nothing to explain to us. The reason why you guys are running away, because you cannot steal our resources for free again. You can go to Ghana, you can go to Rwanda, you can go to Senegal, wherever you want to go, as you think that place can be. It can be your comfort zone to steal their resources for free. We in the Sahel, we say no, enough is enough. We also want a better future for our children. So he said that, and then Foreign Ministry Affairs did not immediately respond to a request for comment. We don't have time for rubbish. The Mali Foreign Ministry doesn't have time for rubbish. We have serious issues to deal with. We don't have time for the Vikings. We all know the history of the Vikings. We all know the history of Denmark. So if the Danes decide to pack from our country, we don't have nothing to comment about. They should go. We don't even need them. So why are they have to inform us before? If they want, they can leave. If all European embassies want to leave the Sahel, they can go. We don't need them. At the same time, the Danish ministry said it will open embassies in Rwanda, Senegal. Sometimes I wonder what Senegal is doing. To be honest, President Omaefe, honestly, we don't know what is happening. Prime Minister Osman Sonko, we don't really understand what is happening. You guys need to up your game. It was a revolution that brought you guys. And then what we are expecting from you, the expectation from you is very high. We don't expect Denmark to leave the Sahel in solidarity with their people in Europe to come and establish new embassies in your country, and you support them. In solidarity with we in the Sahel region, we expect you to also reject this offer of opening new embassies in your countries. Yes, we expect that. So they're going to open new embassies in Rwanda, Senegal, and Tunisia, and increase its diplomatic workforce in its embassies to Egypt. Kenya is expected. South Africa, Nigeria, and Ghana. Ghana and Nigeria will always be there. One of the most important foreign policy questions of this century will be whether African countries will orient themselves more towards the east or the west. How the hell? Who give these Danes or these Europeans to dictate to us as to where we should orient ourselves, who we should orient ourselves with? What kind of partnership or relationship must we as children of Africa go into? We are not friends of anybody. We are friends of us. And we want the best for our people. Just as you want the best for your people in Europe, Just as the Americans want the best for their people, just as the Russians want the best for their people, just as the Chinese want the best for their people, we in the Sahel also want the best for our people. And that is exactly what we required from everybody who is coming to do business with us. Don't come with the mentality that you are coming to take everything away from us to go and benefit with our people, whilst our people are languishing in poverty. We will not take it. So we are not aligning ourselves with anybody. We are aligning ourselves with the best interests of the citizens of the Sahel. The Danish foreign ministry said in a statement, but one thing he said that really annoyed me is, listen to what he said here. We have a clear interest in African countries looking to us in Europe to set the course for their future. How on earth that Denmark or Europe will think that the future of Africa is in their hands? Not in the Sahel. Not we, the citizens of the Sahel, or not with the leadership of the Sahel. We don't think that the future of Africa is in your hands. In your filthy hands. Your hands are so filthy. Your hands are so dirty. The future of Africa, the future of the youth of Africa cannot be in the hands of Denmark. The future of Africa is in the hands of the African citizens. The destiny of Africa is in our own hands. And then we are more than ready to take our destiny into our own hands. We don't want no Denmark, no European Union. If we're going to rely on the European Union or the colonial criminals for our future, then we will never have a future. But as I said, this is a lesson for we, the citizens of Africa. Denmark is taking all these decisions in solidarity of their own people. Denmark is doing that in solidarity of Europe. Why is the Ubuntu spread that we preach of? We preach about Ubuntu. You are because I am because you are. Where is it? Denmark is practicing that now. And that is what we also must be doing. I thank you very much for coming.